Right, okay, welcome on in everybody, hope you're all doing well. Just making sure that everything's all starting correctly, nothing's frozen. I actually had to restart iRacing because iRacing crashed just as I was about to start streaming actually, so it's a good thing I caught it when I did. So, welcome to part 1 of 2 of a special streaming weekend. So, for those of you that aren't part of Discord, I'm going to be doing 2 Indy 500 races during the weekend. So this is the first one of the 2. So this will be the fixed race that I'm going to be doing. So everything's exactly the same, pretty much, other than the fact of obviously this one's a fixed setup, so everybody's using the same setup. Other than like the in-car adjustments, that's the only differences to everybody's cars. The other one that I'll be doing tomorrow, so I'll be streaming again tomorrow, by the way, starting at around about 2 o'clock, which is standard time. That is an open setup. That is. There isn't a huge difference between open setup and fixed setups because it is oval, but there are some notable differences, like, say, for example, the wing setting is set lower. So I am just making sure that everything is correctly running, which is seems to be. There's no lagging as far as I can tell, which is good. So I've been eagerly awaiting for this, obviously. Let's see. As a matter of fact, I chose not to stream because obviously it was right in the middle of the night. This is late enough, really, to be honest. But I ended up actually doing a IndyCar open race in the middle of the night last night, just to get kind of really more of a feel more than anything else. Not taking it, serious in any way, really. Just getting some laps, really, ready for the weekend. Got to around about lap 30, no problems whatsoever. I'll be doing the exact same tactics that I used in the first race that I did, by the way. Where have I qualified, actually, by the way? P28. So I have noticed one of my, he hasn't raced for the team as soon as I joined it, actually. I guess Dallara in my split, which is somebody that I know quite well. So it's possible we might be able to work together. But the main goal is that we are going to try and, of course, win this thing if we can. Obviously, as well, because we've qualified, we've got drivers of different qualifications and different iRacings. So as you can see, one guy in this split is 4.8k, very high. It's the number 1 car. So the number 1 car is qualified P31. It's possible that he's done a slightly slower lap time than what. Actually no, that's his practice. We won't actually see the qualifying. We won't be able to see the qualifying times actually until the starting comes up. But there will be some drivers that will actually try and get into these lower splits, just in that way they can have an easier time. I've actually tried the hardest that I possibly can in both qualifying sessions for the fixed series and the open series, because I want to try and get into as good of a split as possible, because it will help me for when I get to the higher split races that, it's not all, it shouldn't be easy. I want to be, given a good run for my money, basically. So, but some drivers, there are some that rather have it easy, to be honest. It's kind of why they did the multi-class sign up the way that they do now, because before you could just sign up with one person with a low I rating. As soon as that session goes live, that person backs out and then a load of high rated driver gets in, and they're all like 4k 5k drivers that have now gotten into like a 1k lobby, say for example, that should not even be anywhere near that, and they just run away with the race because they've been because they put themselves into a race which they should not be in, really. So iRacing sorted that out, I believe, about a couple of years ago. But the only reason why it's happening here is because they go off qualifying time, as long as you have done a qualifying time, which has been set on a separate session during the week. So I'm just relaxing here, by the way. We will actually be pit starting this race. We are quite far to the back, but I'd rather be completely out of any start of race collision that could possibly happen. I actually did the exact same thing during my warm-up race that I did last night, and the grid didn't even make it to turn 1 and there was already a multi-car pile up. And there was some decent rated drivers, I will admit. Like obviously I won't be able to see everybody's iRacing, so Jaden Porter started P4. He's 4.8k. Car number 2 is 3.7k. Car number 3 for us, it's not even coming. Oh yeah, 2.8k. Car number 4 is 2.7. Car number 5 is 2.3. So like for me at the moment, my oval, I'm only 2k. I will go up higher as I do more oval racing, which is something I'm looking to do next season, by the way. So we will see some oval racing in January as well, starting next season, which will be primarily the Indy. And then the very final car, car number 33 in the split, he is only 0.9k. And, you know, obviously it's great to have, you know, a mixture of iRacing because it's going off the qualifying time. So, you know, some of these drivers might be able to get a huge iRacing boost because they're in a race that actually they do belong in on outright pace. You know, but it's a matter of if they can last the 200 laps, because sometimes they might be that low because, yes, they're good at, like, you know, 4-lap pace, which is what we've all done. But it's a matter of if they can do that now for 200 laps. You know, can they stay at the front, really, to be honest? So, yeah, so we've got just under 5 minutes to go. I am going to switch that off to start off with because that will get repetitively annoying as the race goes on. So what is my plan? I am going to be pit starting. It's something that I did in my warm-up race that I did overnight last night. Not on stream, by the way. I had no plans to record it. It's just basically me just making sure I'm comfortable and everything is correct, ready for the weekend. And basically, I am pretty certain that there will be a first lap incident. And, you know, say for example, if it's on lap 1 and somebody behind me doesn't realise what's going on, that's my race done. And, you know, I have no choice but to retire because somebody just didn't choose to do what we would consider to be the norm, and that is just slow down because there's an incident. There are people that don't do it. They just go, yeah, full throttle, get through, gain positions. That's not how it works. Only do it if you have no choice. But if you can, just brake and slow down. It's not hard, really, at the end of the day. So we are pit starting for that reason. We're going to be just sitting at the back. So probably the first half of the stream, the first possibly hour and a half, maybe a bit longer than that, will probably be a little bit on the boring side, but that's to make sure we get to the end. I've only ever done another one of these before this weekend, and I finished P5 at that. I did, and that was a few years ago. So obviously that was a lot of fun there. So yeah, so this weekend should be a lot of fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to be starting the race tomorrow as well. It depends, really, to be honest, on my starting position. Now, if I'm like in the top few places also, or like literally on the final couple of rows, then I will start on track because there won't be so much of a worry then. But it's if I'm kind of in the mid-pack or so that I will pit start. As another little thing as well, just to let you guys know, I am going to be start doing shorts content again as well. I will probably start that from Tuesday, probably. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it daily yet, because I'm not going to stress myself out too much, really. So the channel is going to go through a slight little adjustment. I'm going to turn on this fan just to cool me down a little bit for the start. So I might sound a little bit weird for a little bit, but hopefully it's not too bad. So my kind of plan with the channel now is basically try and do shorts content at least maybe every other day, like maybe 3 times a week, if I can. And videos will be once a month. And basically, what that will be basically the race of the month type of thing. So I'll be recording every single race. Obviously, the ones that I've actually been streaming won't be included, but it'll be ones that I've recorded off. And what I feel is the best race of the week will basically be one that I will upload basically on the last day of each month. Well, I would probably say maybe yes, the last Saturday of each month I will probably do it. But I shall see. Really, to be honest, there's some slight little things that I'm needing to have a look at. Really, so hey there, Ashes, how you doing, buddy? So that's kind of my plan. So yeah, obviously, if this is your first time around to the channel, thank you ever so much for coming along, spending some of your Saturday evening with us. If you do like the stream at any point, obviously, don't forget to click the like button. It does help out the stream quite a lot. So if you haven't liked the stream already and have enjoyed the stream so far, obviously, we haven't gotten into the race yet, but please do give a like to the channel if you haven't yet. And also subscribe if you do want to see more content as well. Like I said earlier on, I am going to be doing the Indy 500 Open Series at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, of which it will be the Open setup. So this is the fixed event. This is, so there isn't a huge amount of difference, other than obviously this one's a fixed setup, so everybody goes with the exact same setup. The only difference is really in the cars is the in-car adjustments and the drivers themselves. That's the only difference, really. So, but I am going to be pit starting. So yeah, I've been doing all right, actually. Like, there's been a fair amount of preparation going on. There has obviously with this, so we're literally just about luck. And we did do one of these races in the middle of the night last night. I didn't stream it, didn't record it. I just wanted to chill, just see how things went. Unfortunately, during that race, we actually had a power cut. We did. I had a feeling something was going on before the race started, actually, to be honest. And when we got to about that 30 or so, the power completely went. It did, unfortunately, so it wasn't really much we could have done, really, in that respect. So yeah, so I'm not even going to grid. I'm just going to wait for that timer to go, and then we will just sit in pit lane and wait for the race to start. The chances of there being a lap 1 incident is extremely high. Every single race that I've been a part of for the Indy 500, well, like at Indianapolis in general, I think there's only been one race that I've ever done that has made it past lap 1 before a yellow flag has come out. So should be a lot of fun. I'm not the only one that's actually starting pit lane by the looks of it. Let's get ourselves there. Right. Okay, so they will get one warm-up lap. So the plan is basically to just chill out. Don't do just basically be around for later on. Basically, we're not going to be even trying to attempt to pass other drivers on track. We'll be pitting every single time that we can during yellow flags, pretty much, because all we're going to be doing for the first half of the race, really, pretty much, is just sit at the back. We're not going to try anything, dangerous. We're not going to try and be a hero, and then keep at the front. We're just going to wait for all the chaos to happen. So the first, I would say, hour and a half is legit just... It is probably going to be a bit boring, I'm going to be honest. But the whole reason for doing this is in that way we get to the later stages and we have a chance of winning. There is no point in trying to be at the front or in the mid-pack and trying to get to the front if we're just going to crash. There's no point, really, to be honest. So it's best off we just stay at the back, allow things to happen, and then when we get towards the later stages, then start pushing from there. Basically, so just making sure that my engine map and everything is all set. So set that to that. They're just coming through turn 4 now. I'm gonna bring this a tiny bit further forward. Ooh, that's a bit too close. Okay, so there you go. And let's get ourselves out on the track. And there you go. There's already been a first lap crash. And there's multiple cars all gone off. But the yellow flag has not come out. That's interesting. There you go. There's the yellow flag. I've just realised something. For some reason, my spotter's not working. I bet my dad's changed something that has caused that to happen. Because he's been trying out this car. That would mean that I'll have to put my the crew chief on, which I don't like. Now it's going to be calling my dad's name out, possibly. Hello, David. Hello, Paul. Now the problem is with IndyCar, there has been an issue with it before where getting out of the car and then adjusting something and getting back in doesn't allow you to get back in afterwards. So you have no sound, really? How do you have no sound? Oh, you mean you have no sound because you haven't turned anything on? Okay. Can all of you hear me and the game as well, or let me know if there is an issue. So yeah, I'm going to have to turn my crew chief on. I might try and see if I can try and change it quickly to my own name. I've not used crew chief in a long time, if I'm honest. I think one of the few drivers that have crashed out on the opening lap is actually the #1 car. And he's going to lose a huge amount of iRacing. And this is part of the problem with having such a good iRacing, yet you don't set a good qualifying time. He's now going to lose a massive amount of iRacing. Right. I'm gonna quickly just turn my crew chief on. I've not used crew chief in a long time. I haven't used it all season. Right. I have to get out quickly because otherwise I will go a lap down. Oh, you hear me clearly, that's good then. Might be just Paul because I know he's not around at the moment. He is going to try and be around later on. But he's had to deal with a family emergency that came up this morning. So he has said that he will try and come back. I'm going to be doing another stint with no crew chief unless I can... This might potentially be dangerous.
Radio check. Spider radio check.
Right, there we go. So now I have a crew chief. So yeah, so like I said, like some of the first parts of the race are probably going to be a little bit on the boring side, but we're just here to survive really the initial phase. Now these drivers just ahead of us should be way further up the field to what they are. It's probably because some of them are actually trying to do the same thing that I'm actually doing, and that is literally just trying to survive, but the way that they're doing it is actually quite obvious. They should be attempting to stay, you know, pretty much with the car ahead of them.
Fastest lap for Kelly, 43.5. Fastest lap for Stafford, 41.8. The lap time was at 42.2. Good lap. What's your quickest so far?
Not even close to the car ahead of me. Like a second behind. I'm wondering if part of it could be because the track is quite hot. Plus also the track's not quite wrapped in yet fully.
Gap to Garcia ahead is increasing. It's now 1.7 seconds.
We've probably got a bad track state, probably. It does happen.
The guy in front has just done a 41.2.
And there's our yellow.
Watch out.
There is this one. It's coming through turn 2. Don't know what's happened there. There's like a secondary wreck.
Pace car is out. Line up single file behind car number 32. Full course yellow. It's a closed.
So obviously with we're doing the Indy 500 right now. This is only like lap 7. We'll probably see a fair few yellow flags to begin with, because what this is doing, there is so many drivers on the track, and there are a fair amount of drivers that don't know how to race in a pack. There are some drivers that will do a lot of practicing on their own. They won't practice racing, they won't practice restarts, and that type of thing in the end is what is going to fuck them in the butt, basically.
Safety car is out. It's now open.
So let's come in. Some people will ask me, why am I busy? It's only lap 8. This is my second stop.
3, 2, 1.
We don't want to be in the middle of the pack. there is still a very large possibility of others wrecking. Keep you on low while I start cooking dinner. My girlfriend's parents coming over tonight, so making chicken. Ooh, that does sound good actually. Hey, there's one more person just coming around the track slowly. Okay, he's actually coming into the pits, so there's no point me hanging about. That is the unfortunate thing with this strategy. There will be some people that want to do the same thing as us, and they are going to try all the more to make sure they stay right at the back. But they could also have damage, you don't know. Thank you for all the likes, by the way, guys. Those have already liked the stream already.
Pits are open. Okay, Al, get ready. Race will resume at the end of this lap.
What is this guy doing? I might as well just stay out on track. I think the one guy that was behind us on track is still actually in pit lane, so he's going to go a lap down. Yeah, he's a lap down, so I believe his car was damaged. And that's why he's taken so long to get round. So the difference with ovals is that there is a lot of chatter, so you're not hearing chatter at the moment because I've actually got voice chat turned off. There was so much chatter that goes on during oval races, particularly at the start. And some of it is a matter of, oh, you did this, you did that, you ruined my race. You know, and all I'm looking to do is just concentrate on my race, you know, so just better off just turning it off for now. The only time I will turn it on is when it gets into the later stages, and like I said earlier on at the beginning of the stream, one of my good friends, Justin Barrera's in the race. He's right at the front. He's P2 at the moment. So, if he realises that it's me, we could work together later on if we're both still. But we've got to get to that stage first of all.
Green, 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 let's go. B25.
So bear in mind, I am effectively last place in the track P25. But we've only gone past 10 laps of this race, and already near enough 10 cars on it. Shows how many drivers have just been in the first section of the lap because one driver can't drive in a train. You'd think it is actually quite easy, but for a lot of people it's actually really difficult. And it's because of the difference that this makes. Oh, there you go, there's another big crash. That should be a yellow, there you go. And he's not holding his brakes. But he doesn't care either, his race is just, you know, his race is now over, he probably doesn't care. Really, to be honest. So, but yeah, this is how the start of these races are going to be. There's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. That was the car number 33, the last iRacing driver. It was
Race cars out. Line up single file behind car number 32. Safety cars out.
I don't know why the guy behind me is still trying to continue. There is no way he's going to be able to continue. His wheels wobbling about so badly that his suspension's broken. You know, there's no way he can get back onto the track. Oh, he's got nothing in front of him. He should be speeding up.
Safety car is out.
He's not.
Pits are now open. Watch your speed limit in the pits. Box in 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
Right. So I'm not going to go straight away. I'm going to make sure that everybody else does actually get onto pit lane, back out onto track before I do. The reason for that is because I want to be right at the back. The one car that is going to be staying in pit lane is that number 19 car, I would expect. Because that car had no rear wing, he has no suspension, he has no front wing, so there's no chance he will go back out on track. Everybody else is on track, apart from a couple more, but that's about it. So this is kind of the strategy that I'm looking to do. We just look to survive the opening phases. And I will keep repeating because there will be somebody that will come in. If I'm not repeating it, they will go, "Why are you racing so boring?" This is what you have to do if you want to win these special events. You have to be around, and because there are yellow flags, we can take it so much more carefully. And there's nothing against the rules saying, "Oh, you're just sitting at the back." There's nothing against that rule. So you might as well do what I'm doing. And I'm legit just saving fuel. There's another couple of guys that are coming into the pits, so I'm going to do the same. Might as well.
Next time by.
I might as well.
Look out for the pit speed limit. Box in 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
It also kind of helps me practice for when I actually do the proper pit stops. I know kind of, I'm getting into my head where my pit stop is. It is quite early in the pit stop bays, but it just helps me practice, really, for when, okay, for when, a little more thought I was about to start speeding. But now I should be right at the back, and now we're P23. So the number of drivers that are still remaining is getting lower. And that will keep getting lower and lower. Bear in mind, we're only lap 15. We'll restart lap 16. But already, 10 drivers are out, basically. And we're only 15 laps in. But with these iRacing special events for the Indy 500, that's kind of normal. That is. It's kind of normal. One car just flying out in the air. So I'm just going to switch my engine map. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm trying to save as much fuel as I physically can. There's no point going all the way up to 1 even during the initial starting phase, because drivers ahead of me aren't really even getting up to speed. So I might just try and save as much fuel as I can with a really slow car down here. And the problem is, both of these drivers want to be on the back. But by doing this, it makes it even more dangerous at this point.
Car low. Clear to the bottom.
But anybody that drives as slow as that, if you come up to somebody like that, you're still better off just passing them, because they will inevitably be one of those drivers that will actually ruin your race. They will be the ones that will fall.
Behind is pitted. 20 seconds
So he's actually coming to the pits. I bet he's probably got a black flag for passing illegally, probably. And he might as well have just kept going and then just said to everybody, I'm pitting in, I've got a black flag. I've had to do it before. Yeah, I haven't seen you around in a little while. How's it going? So Justin is now leading the Indy 500 right now. So we're just sitting right at the very back. The 21st place car is right in front of that train.
That lap was at 42.0.
The tyres are warmed up a little bit now, which is good. Still experiencing quite a bit of understeer in this car. Wonder if it's just sitting far too stiff. Okay, this is the back marker that we're just coming up to. He may just let us through, I don't know.
This lap for Owens, 40.9.
But we're going to be treating him exactly the same. We're not going to pass him hard. We're not going to be overly aggressive, especially because he's a lap down. We're just going to take our time. That's good. So he's done the right thing now, just facilitated position there. So he's not slowed himself down that much. Oh, he just had a tap with the wall, I think, there. So yeah, so the track temperature is quite high at the moment. Now sitting at 50. Hey there, little big mouth. How's it going, buddy? Rating cleared, yeah. You got it right there. Got it in one.
The track temp's increasing. It's now 51 Celsius.
Alright, it's getting hot. Good thing is though, is that our tyres are rubbering in a bit more now.
Ahead is now 1.0. You've just done a 41.2. That's your fastest lap.
We are starting to get a bit of draft from users in front of us. Just got to be aware of the dirty air, which is a big thing in these races. So we're getting a lot of speed on the straights, despite our engine mapping being set to allow us to fuel save. But it will mean that our turning will be severely reduced in performance, because all of our aerodynamic performance is all washed away because we have no pressure.
The guy in front is Garcia.
but we're going to get a huge amount of dirty air coming from the back end of the car in front of us.
Gap to Garcia ahead is increasing. It's now 0.8.
It does seem like that, but the race itself has actually gone green for a decent length of time already.
Just done at 41.1.
So this is now near enough been going for 10 laps, which is actually pretty good.
Garcia ahead is now 0.8.
But also at the same time, what you've got to remember is that those that have been at the front have not done a single stop. And it is about that 30 when you do your first stop, if it was a green flag. So that could potentially mean that they could be hitting in possibly lap 40, possibly, because they're going to be saving fuel as well, obviously, during portion, as long as they've got their engine mapping down. If not, they're going to be at a disadvantage. I thought Jesus was actually going to hit the wall then. Went a little bit wide on the exit. I managed to catch it. Somebody's had an incident on the start-finish straight. It's not brought out a yellow flag though. They've obviously managed to keep themselves going, which is great. But the question is, have they got damage?
The gap to Garcia ahead is increasing. It's now 0.9. The lap time was 42.0.
I don't know, buddy. Thank you so much. So how's everybody's weekend been going, by the way? Obviously, for last weekend, for people in the US, obviously would have been Memorial Day on the Monday, which they had an extra day off of work. Obviously, for us, it would be called a bank holiday. Somebody's pitting already. Oh yeah, because of the pit. Some people didn't pit in at all, did they? During any of the pit stops, during any of the safety cars. So some of those that are at the front will now start pitting in. Now the problem is if they come out behind the race leader now at this point, they will be a lap down, and there's no lucky dog in this series. So you just gotta hope and pray that when you pit, is that you are ahead of the leader in the pace car queue. If you are, you can go around the pace car and get away with it. That's the only way you can gain your lap back. Otherwise, you're screwed. You're always going to be pretty much in the middle of the queue every single time. Ooh, that's a bit of a wash. I don't know what it is with this setup, but it feels like there's so much understeer in this setup. But a lot more than what I thought there was originally. Like, I know obviously the track temperature is very hot, and obviously that is part of the issue, but surely that's not it. I thought there'll be a little bit more than that. Okay, so the leaders are now in. So just bear in mind, a lot of cars are now starting to pit, but they are going to be quicker than us. So if they come up behind us, there's no point in us passing them. Because we've got our own strategy that we're trying to do.
P18. That was 42.1. Last lap was at 42.1. The leader, Dallara, is pitting. Renzel is now in the lead. Elgato behind. is now 15 seconds. 8th place.
I'm surprised we're already doing a full run.
We've got a full course
Oh,
yellow.
there you go. There's the curse. So let's put the engine up to 8.
We can see Jones has gone off.
So we've worked our way up to P9, but just to put it into perspective, a lot of all the cars behind me have all pitted. You should just bear that in mind. So we will pit in again now. We've gone long enough into the stint that we might as well, but we are going to be making sure we stay at the back. So the plan will be exactly the same what it has been all race so far.
Pits are open. The leader, Wenzel, is pitting. Watch your speed. Box in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
Right. Okay. So I'm a bit quiet compared to the car. That's probably just me talking. I can raise it. That's not a problem. I can do it while I'm in the pits actually. Okay, that's the top it can go. I wonder if I put a gain on maybe. It might be just where I'm talking quietly, to be honest, because I do that quite a lot, and I'm doing that more so because obviously in the next room, I'm not sure if my dad might be back home or not, but if he is, he might be trying to sleep, which obviously I don't want to be waking him up, obviously because I am streaming a bit late. I'm going to turn on this fan for a little bit. It's just getting a bit warm. So yeah, so the next car in position behind me will get his lap back. Yeah, hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. Don't worry about it, just drive. You know what I'm like though, Marble.
Safety car is out. Pits are now open. Okay,
So I'm just going to stay out
race will resume
this
at the
time
end of this
around.
lap.
But, you know, with the one to go now. Because what I can do, there is a ruling that if you stay up over to the left side of the track on the start finish straight, on restarts and people overtake you on the right side, they don't get penalties. They are allowed to overtake around you on the right side. It doesn't sound better now, Marvel. Did raise the gain up just a tad. So I'm going to keep it at map 5 for the restart again.
Green flag, we're racing. E20.
So we're almost a quarter of the way through the race, and we've been racing for probably now near enough 45 minutes. Charles behind me is just hanging back, which I'm fine with. There is kind of like a small pack of us in the back, just casually just turning laps and wait for the later stages.
Kelly is leading the race.
There's no point overtaking him. I think he's at fuel map 1, he's just slow in the corners because it's turning in so late. He might be even mirror watching, which is really hard. Yeah, so I think, yeah, he's just really slow. He's mirror watching constantly. He is. That's what I'm thinking is going on. He's a 1.1k driver, start 31 of 32 cars that started, so it might be that, you know, he's not realising what he's doing is actually a bad move. But there's nothing really I can do about it. That's just something that he's going to do. There does seem to be a few cars battling a little bit further up the road. Oh, somebody almost went through wide there. And that's slowing the entire pack down.
Outside. Clear high. Last lap time was 42.9.
We're not intentionally making these moves, but I'd rather actually be ahead of those drivers that are actually potentially quite dangerous. Right, so once this lap is completed, we'll be officially quarter of the way through the race, and it is less than an hour since the race started, so we're sitting a decent pace. We are overall. There is a chance we might actually get our first green flag stops of the race. That's a matter of fact.
Was that 41.6? Was that 41.8?
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit more used to that understeer due to dirty air now. It's still problematic, obviously. It's going to be like that for everybody, but it's not so bad now. I'm getting a little bit more used to it. I'm adjusted into it, so which is good. And the good thing is that I'm saving a lot of fuel as well. One of the guys just ahead of us just almost hit the wall. If not, he did actually hit the wall. So Christopher in the number 7. Oh no! You might be okay. No, that doesn't look right. Yeah, that might be us done, and there was nothing I could have done, really. Let's bring it straight in and see if there is a way that we can get back
Watch your
out.
speed. Box in. 4,
It might allow us to come back
3,
out.
2, 1. Box now.
Yeah, too much damage. That's unfortunately it for us then. Yeah, you can see the rear right suspensions, and I think I just got clipped. He went so far on the left-hand side. He did that. He touched the grass, and there was just nothing else that I could have done. That's a bit unfortunate, but not really much I could have done about that in the end, really. So that cuts it a bit short, a bit early. That does, unfortunately. So what happened there? Let's actually go ahead and have a look. I did try everything as hard as I could to try and avoid all of that. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it happens. So he just went really slow. It's like as if he just went into a nap. Oh, and then he disappeared. He actually disappeared as well. Oh, does he have... Oh, yeah, the guy that I had the incident with had an upload packet loss. So, oh, that's really annoying. What's happened is that he's probably had his computer crash. And in that moment, like he's spinning there and he comes out. Yeah. I wonder if the reason why he continued going left is because his computer's frozen. So I wonder if he's started to crash at that moment. Yeah, we just got caught out behind somebody. I think it's connecting to the server was just in the middle of going into like an upload packet loss. It's like he did that freeze, you know, like how a lot of drivers are experiencing in wet conditions. He's had a similar sort of thing happen. He has, and unfortunately, because the system is kind of sensing that he's still there, I've been knocked out by something that's not even there, really, to be honest. So, a bit unfortunate, but, you know, we still have another race tomorrow. So, it's not like it's the end of the day with regards to that. But, you know, we've made a collection of places, really. So, yeah, like this is just, you know, one of those things that does happen. Maybe what we should do, maybe for tomorrow's race, is just hang back a little bit further. You know, I think what was going on in my head there, reason why I was starting to pass other drivers, because the drivers that I was overtaking, I wanted to actually be at the front, in front of them, because I felt that they were starting to be too dangerous. Yeah, I probably would have done, but it happens, really, to be honest. So, unfortunately, our race does get cut quite short. You know, we made it about an hour in. So, and that was somebody else's PC, obviously, just, you know, and he might actually be okay. I don't know. Like, so let's have a look. So he is actually now just reconnected. Yeah, his car's completely fine. His car's completely fine. So it's just because of the throughputing. He's got to wait a bit extra, by the way. He is going to be a few laps down. He's going to be 2 to 3 laps down. But his car is perfectly fine. Because he throughputed at that moment. There is nothing he could have done because getting an upload packet loss is beyond his control. That's either to do with one of two things: his internet, or that's to do with the iRacing servers, or his PC. Which you can kind of say maybe that's kind of under his control in a way, but I wouldn't say so necessarily, really, to be honest. But, you know, just have to take it on the chin. We do. You know, there's nothing he can have done, and I just got a little bit too close. I tried getting out of it, but just one of those. So yeah, so that's going to be it for us. Unfortunately, it does come to an end fairly quickly. But we will be back tomorrow to do the Open Indy 500. And you never know, we might actually have a much better chance in the Open Series one. So, yeah. I'll leave it there. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I will be back tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock British Standard Time for the Open Series, like I said. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you see